Hi, it's James from ATW, and we're back with another podcast. And you are not going to want to miss this one because I am joined by Sanjay today. Sanjay was the inaugural winner of our Dream Award that we did at the back end of the year. So we had 3 awards for Dream, Believe, Achieve, our tagline. Sanjay literally epitomizes having those dreams and actually achieving them as well. And we're going to have a good old chat now and get into it. So, yeah, welcome to the podcast, Sanjay. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, James. Thanks for having me.
See ya.
Cheers.
Yeah, so we obviously you did your first triathlon, didn't you, in 2025? A bit of a journey to get to there. So let's go all the way back to the beginning, though. Was sport like a big part of your life as a kid and growing up, or did this all come into play later on in life?
So I've always loved sport. I've always loved watching it, all types of sports, anything active. I've always loved it. I wasn't allowed the opportunity to do it growing up. I had a really strict upbringing. So I'm really...
So your parents wouldn't let you do sport?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it was very much education based, and there were, sports wasn't seen as something that a second generation should be doing. It should be, we've come to this country, you study, that's it.
Were you allowed to watch it as a kid?
I was allowed to watch it, but I only had like certain allowances of what I could watch and at what time. So I'm very much living my childhood now as an adult, which is fantastic. Absolutely love it. So yes, I've always loved it and didn't have the opportunity to do it growing up, but I'm at a stage in life now where I'm living my childhood dreams.
So when was the first time that you actually started to participate in sports and things? Were you able to do it through school as well, or?
I did a little bit at school, but again, I wasn't allowed to do much in that way at school. In terms of, so really running came to me completely by accident. In 2019, a friend of mine had just done the London Marathon. In fact, sorry, in 2018, he'd just done the London Marathon.
Yeah.
And we were out having a few drinks, and he was telling me about how difficult it was. And it was the year that was really, really hot.
Yes. Yeah.
And we'd had a few drinks. And
is this straight after his event, or was this?
It was maybe a few
weeks up.
Yeah, it was maybe a few months. No, it was a few weeks after. And I said to him, "Well, how difficult can it be? It's just running, right?
Yeah, 1 foot in front of the other.
Yeah, like it's a marathon. What's that, like 5 kilometers? Easy, right?" And he was like, "Okay, why don't you sign up? It's free to sign up on the ballot for the London Marathon."
Yeah,
that's fine. I'll sign up. I entered the ballot there and then a few months later, I got a magazine through the post saying you're in.
Wow!
And I laughed and cried at the same time. There was lots of tears and laughters, and I wasn't sure what I'd do because I'm now in the London Marathon completely. I didn't think there was any way of me getting in.
Even like now the ballot is crazy.
But
even then it was 2019. It was really, really tough.
That's why I signed up for it. There was no, I was just being a. Can I swear on this?
No,
I'm not. I was being.
You've got to choose a good word to replace it. Swear.
Muppet. Okay, it's fine. So, and yes, I was absolutely 100% a Muppet because it hit me straight in the face. But it was a life-changing moment, really, because I had 2 options. I used to smoke, I used to drink, I wasn't very healthy. And I had 2 options, basically do the London Marathon somehow, or not. And I thought, well, why not? It's 5 kilometers, right?
Still didn't know what.
I still had no idea how a marathon was. And also, it's again, running is one of these things that, from people of my background, I think things have changed now a lot. But why would you run? Like, it's one thing playing football or cricket.
Yeah.
It's a team sport. But what is the point of running? Genuinely. And when family members or other people in my community would ask me that, my answer would be like, I don't know. I have no idea. Why do people run? It's take a bus.
Yeah.
So I then joined a local running club, and I remember so I didn't know anything about Strava or any of these things.
Yeah.
Someone said, you need to download this app called Map My Run.
Okay.
And we went out for a run with my running club.
And this is the first run that you
run.
So this is like day one of your training.
Day one.
Joined the club. Done the right thing.
Yeah. Because I was like, and I used
his feet.
Yeah. And also I used to live in quite a rough area in Luton at the time. And it's just, you don't want to run in that area. So I thought, okay, running club, motivating, YouTube videos were saying that join a running club, that's going to help.
Yeah.
Joined a running club, and I started in the slower group, and I did my first mile in about 14 minutes and then passed out.
Yeah.
I had to have a cigarette straight after. And
some interesting, running reps.
Yes. Yeah. And then questions my life choices and why I was running.
Yeah.
But not to, basically it was a little bit embarrassing. It was a bit of a kick to my ego, but it was the first change in me thinking differently about something that I had no idea about.
Yeah.
So I came back.
Did you manage to complete the first session?
No, I had to start. I had to start right back. And then a friend of mine lent me a book called Born to Run by Christopher McDougall, I think his name is. And that was brilliant. I absolutely really enjoyed reading that book, sorry. And then I was quite a big chap. So there was the method of like jeffing, which I was like, oh, great. So I can run for 2 minutes and then walk for a minute.
Yeah.
Great. Why not do that? And that was a complete game changer for me, because rather than run 5K, 10K, whatever, you can run for X amount of minutes and then rest and then build that up.
Which is the premises of the couch to 5K training plans and stuff now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. And that's what I did. And then I started enjoying it more, because what I also realized is I wasn't getting injured. So like there were people in the running club who would go out for, 10, 12, 30 mile runs. And I would do that as well, but I would jeff and I'd be fine. Like I wasn't getting injured. So I joined in the September of 2018 and the marathon was in 2019, March. April, sorry.
Yeah.
And so I did the marathon April 2019, and my goal was just to finish it.
Yeah.
And then I ended up doing it in like 3 hours 50 or something, which but I jeffed. The great thing was I jeffed it
in the marathon as well.
In the marathon as well.
Yeah.
And for about 30 minutes, you can see your times I walked.
Yeah.
Which was brilliant. And I finished, whereas everyone else was like, dying.
Yeah.
I felt great. I didn't have any sort of DOMs or anything like that. So then I signed up for the Belfast.
Fair play to you. Like you've done your first running session. It hasn't gone great, but a lot of people probably would have just at that point said, running's not for me. But to go back, read a book about it, get going, and then actually go and complete your first goal as well. It's an amazing achievement.
Thank you.
That it's kind of sort of skipped, I think, from first session, and then it's like I've done a marathon, but I know you'd have had to do a lot of training, 4 or 5 days a week, getting out there. And so to go from not really being able to do that first session.
The thing is, it's very much, I personally believe it is a mindset thing, because, and you're right, I have skipped over a big part. I'm just conscious about the time, but there were so many moments on that journey when people within, my own family and community, again, why are you running? Why are you doing this? And it wasn't so much I want to complete it for my sake. At the time, it was like, I want to complete it to show you that I can.
Yeah.
And to myself that I can, because not being able to do the things, what you don't know is what you don't know. Right. Yeah. And it's only now that I realize every single thing that I do is a privilege. Sitting here with you is a privilege. It's because life is short. Things can be taken away from you like that. Running is a privilege. I have my health. I have my lead. Everything about running was so beneficial for me from a mental health point of view, but I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking. I started looking at what was going into my body in terms of eating, nutrition, and it took me down a rabbit hole where I became really sort of like, wow, this is so much fun. My brain became a sponge for knowledge, and it was also doing things in a bit of a different way, because there were many other runners at the club that were saying, well, if you're walking in that marathon or jeffing, it's not running. And then I used that as fuel, because they also took part in the London Marathon.
Yeah.
and I was quicker than them.
Yeah.
And I walked for half an hour and I felt great at the end of it. So there's a lot of advice and a lot of people from all spectrums that will say stuff and try and, I mean, I found that they would try and bring you down. And I love, this is what I love about endurance sports. It's very much, you can create enemies in your head, and you can create enemies from something that someone said. You can create an enemy just by going on a park run and seeing someone's shoulder that you don't even know. You're like, I'm going to take that.
Michael Jordan was a huge person that was doing. I don't know if you watched any of his NBA series and stuff. If you haven't watched it, do watch it. But he would literally find reasons to hate the other team and the other players and make things into things they'd won. Just so he had that competitiveness in match day.
Yes,
and it is the same, isn't it? When you're out running, you can do that yourself.
Yeah, no, I love that. It's So it's why everyone's my enemy. You're my enemy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I enjoy it. So when
how did it feel at the end of that marathon? You'd actually ticked off your goal of completing your 5K marathon.
Yeah. I finished the 5K mark. I was like, where's the finish line? Where's it? But I think the London Marathon is I will never forget it, because that last mile. Have you done the London Marathon?
I've done it, yeah.
So for those of you that haven't done it, do anything you can to enter the ballot every year or to run for a charity, because that last mile down the
and pop the embankment.
Is, I mean, I was in tears. I could see it, and I felt, and I was like, wow, I've run a marathon. Like, that's insane. Like, me run a marathon. Like, and also I also beat the time of the friend that I spoke about who was complaining that it was really hot. And it is like, endurance sports is so humbling. It's the thing I love most about it, because as much as there are people that are making enemies in my head or who are saying things to put you down, there's the other side where there's so many people that are supportive. You find groups, you find people that are literally your biggest cheerleader. I'm now running for a charity. Even though I got in on the ballot, I wanted to raise money for a charity. There was a person, in fact, this is the other thing that actually really hit home. On the train journey on the way back, I was sat next to this lady and I had my medal around me. She just started talking to me, and I always find it weird, like it's a British thing. If someone starts to speak, maybe I'm from Luton. If someone on public transport speaks to you, the first thing you see is, where's your phone? Where's your wallet? Where are your keys?
Where's my medal?
Where's my medal? And she just started talking to me, and then she got off at St Albans, and I remember getting off at Luton, and by the time I got home, my London Marathon Just Giving page had a donation from her. She remembers who I was, and she loves
special.
Yeah, and she just put the lady next to you on the train, and I took a screenshot of it, and I posted it everyone. I said, "This to me is what running's about."
It is.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, and it was. I never looked back. So I finished that. The week after, I did the Belfast Marathon, because I was like,
the week after.
Yeah.
You got the bug quickly then.
Yes. And then whilst I was in Ireland, I think I went and did my first ultra the week after that.
Yeah.
In Tullarowan in the south, and I came sick, which
wow,
was
absolutely,
So I absolutely, so that was running for me, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
I still kept it up a little bit. So.
And how did that transition go from, obviously done running, you've done ultra running, how did this go from running to triathlon? How did that journey come about?
So honestly, I thought triathlon was some posh. I thought it was for posh people in London who call themselves athletes who try really hard.
Yeah.
But I generally, didn't know what a triathlon was. My amazing wife, Hannah, is she loves triathlon, she loves swimming, she loves cycling, and again I didn't know how to ride a bike, didn't know how to swim, but Hannah. So last year we went through something quite traumatic. So Hannah had some surgery. We're trying for children, and we were accepted to go through the IVF process. And we were successful in terms of the implantation and everything. We were really happy, great. We're pregnant. We're kind of preparing for the future and stuff. But we had a miscarriage, which was quite traumatic. And then both of us decided that our lives was going to be just, we were told we couldn't have children after that. It was just going to be the two of us. So we planned our entire lives around activities. We're both quite active people.
Yeah.
And Hannah really wanted to do triathlons, potentially an Ironman. And we were like, great, right, what can we do? And I was like, I don't know how to swim, I don't know how to bike ride, but you do. I'm going to support you in every way that I can.
And you'll do the running. I mean, that's an incredible mindset to have, that you just like, obviously it is a traumatic thing to go through, and then to just shift your mindset to this is what we are, what we can do, or what we're able to do as a couple, and we're going to enjoy life that way.
Yeah, I think the worst thing about the IVF process is, and for those of you who've been through it or who are thinking of going through it, the one thing the doctors said to us that in hindsight we completely disagree with, they said that whilst you're going through that process and you're doing the injections and everything, whilst you're pregnant, don't do any activities, don't go to the gym, like, don't go for a bike ride, don't do anything, like literally cotton, put cotton wool around Hannah. And that meant I couldn't go. And the rationale they gave us was, you don't want to catch anything from anyone or fall, and then that would affect Hannah and that could affect the pregnancy. And that was like, a fair few months where we didn't do anything, and our livelihoods were all very active. Yeah. So we got unhealthy, in that time, and it affected our mental health and stuff. And we had the miscarriage anyway. And so that was all really, really traumatic.
Yeah.
And so, we just decided, so we were like, we're never going to do that again. Whatever happens, our health is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because we have each other, and with recent events of people who've passed away who are young and healthy, we're not here for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's really important. Like, Hannah is not just my wife, she's my best mate. Yeah. And we have to be there for each other. And the things that we both love doing are sports and endurance sports and activities and things like that. So we're never going to give that up. And so when we set plans of life being just the two of us, great. Like, Hannah was really supportive in when I was doing my ultra running and long distance running. So and Hannah runs as well. She just doesn't, and she's completed marathons. But
triathlon was her focus.
Triathlon was her.
Running was going to be your focus.
Running was going to be my focus. Look, my approach to swimming and cycling was why. Yeah. Like, if I wanted to be in water, I'd be a fish. that was really my mindset. Why would I want to cycle? Because it's just, when I'm driving on the roads, I'm just like, who are these Muppets. So it's like, but Hannah's done it, want to support her, be a loving husband. So we went down to box ends, in water. So Hannah's training. Hannah's then signs up through ATW for the Grafham Water Triathlon.
Yeah.
And then basically we've signed up. We've got Hannah's, and she's got a coach. She's got a training plan, everything. I'm going to marshal the events that she's going to take part in. And then I actually injured myself running earlier this year. And Hannah was like, well, why don't you learn to swim in this time period? Because my Achilles was quite bad.
When you say learn to swim, is this can't swim or couldn't swim at all?
Couldn't swim at all. Yeah. So just to go back a bit, so Hannah took me to Boxing Park, and I was like, okay, we're gonna have a swim session here, and it's probably the most. So I've won this award through ATW for dreaming. I should have got one for nightmares as well, because the box end, if you've never been open water swimming and you can't swim, literally traumatic. Like, I got in there and I was like, where's the bottom? Where's the bottom?
Can't see the light.
Can't see the lights. And then there's like these things like on your feet, which are like the reeds and stuff. And I had like I must have done like 5 meters. I had a panic attack, and I was like, not doing this again. And then Hannah was like, look, there's a leisure pool like nearby. Why don't you just go in? And swimming's weird. It's not like running, because you can watch YouTube videos, you can read books and stuff. but it doesn't translate in the same way as running. But I just, I'd go into the swimming pool, and try and sort of swim. But I just thought I hate it. Like I had a few, when I was 5, I had one swim session at school. I was a naughty kid at school, which is hard to believe, right? And we were in a lane. We got in, it was a shallow end. One of my friends was on the other side. He was like, why don't you come over and be next to me? So I let go of the bar, of the edge, tried to go to the other side. And basically I got expelled, banned from swimming.
Right.
And so I could never swim again at primary school. So swimming was not my thing. Anyway, I was out one day. Hannah was like, I've got to, she had a smear test that she needs to go to, and she'd missed her period. She was like, I've got to do a pregnancy test. And I was like, well, what's the point? Like, but you can do it. She was like, do you want to be here for it? I was like, there's no point.
Yeah.
And then I'd finished my session. She called me. She was like, you need to come home. Got home, and we found out we were naturally pregnant, which was a complete shock.
A surprise.
Yeah, massive surprise.
All of those emotions.
We then had to go to the local supermarket to get another pregnancy test.
Yeah.
To make sure that the first one wasn't 40.
Yeah.
And the second one said we were pregnant. And I was like, are you sure this is a pregnancy test, not a COVID test?
Yeah.
Same thing, because it had the lines on it. So we went to the supermarket again, got a more expensive one just to make sure. And yes, we were. So then we went to the hospital, got all the checks done, and it was a miracle, like, naturally pregnant and stuff. Lots of tears were shed.
I bet.
We were very but it happened at the time where we literally planned all of Hannah's triathlon sort of journey. And so Hannah's like, well, now I can't do it, because I think we were like 12 weeks in. And also because because of our history, we were like, you can still train us. We're still going to train, but a triathlon may be a bit too much of a,
that's it. Yeah.
So I'm not sure why I decided I would take her spot without any training, not really knowing how to swim. And I did graph and water. I know you were there.
I was, yeah.
And I remember going in, being really sort of confident about it.
Hannah got unlucky that day though, because the water was very, very choppy, wasn't it? It wasn't a still day, was it?
No. I remember. So for those of you watching, I DNF'd. I badly DNF'd, and I got in, and I just remember like the chop was hitting me from both sides.
It was tough conditions.
And I remember Hannah, and she was going like this, and I think I was going like this back to her, and neither of us were, like, I thought she was waving at me, and I think she thought I was waving at her. Yeah. But it was traumatic. I thought again, I was going to die.
Yeah.
And there was like your life guys on the life kayaks and stuff. Kayaks. Yeah. And I just said, look, pull me out. And again, it's a humbling, chastening experience. It was very much like my first run.
That's what I was about to say, actually. Yeah. Your first time running, you've ended up having to stop.
Yes. No cigarettes this time.
No cigarettes. No in the water, which is.
Yeah. And again, like swimming is like, I would say, that running experience, but on steroids, because on the journey back home, I said, look, I'm not going to, again, I could quit, or I could learn and humble myself and actually learn how to swim.
Yeah.
So I signed up to Dorney, which was a couple of weeks later, but I got some coaching. Hannah taught me how to swim a little bit more. And then I did Dorney, and I managed to complete it.
You did?
Yes. And that was honestly one of the best experiences, because
talk me through that. We've done like all of that from the beginning. So obviously you probably got your nerves of what happened at Grafham.
Yeah.
And then you've now got to get back in the water again to start. It was still a day, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
But what were your emotions like before the start of that one?
So I was nervous.
Yeah.
Like
completing it?
The swim.
Yeah.
The swim. Like in hindsight, like I never even got the chance to do the bike ride or the run. Yeah. So it was more the swim. Like if I can get through this swim, great. So, but then I went into from like nerves to maybe overconfidence.
Okay.
And Hannah's looking at me, and I literally, as soon as, I think it was Mike who was doing the countdown to go in.
Yeah.
And he went 3, 2, 1, go. And I literally ran, jumped in, and Hannah was like, whoa. And so I'm swimming, and I'm like confident, like coursing through my veins. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm swimming. I'm first, right? I'm like, oh my God. Not only am I going to do this, I'm going to win this. So I keep going. And I'm looking back and the distance is getting more and more and more. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a triathlete. Hey, might as well get me on the podium. Great. So I'm running. I'm swimming. And then all of a sudden I see the other swimmers and they're going in a different direction. And then one of the lifeboats come up and they're like, you're right. I'm like, yeah. And the guy at the boat was like, it's that way. I was like, oh, I'm such a muppet. Yeah. So I turn around and then I swim. And then I'm like, right, I just got completed. That's what overconfidence does.
It always has a way to humble you.
It does. And especially in the swim.
Yeah.
And anyway, as soon as I finished the swim, that's when I knew. I was like, right, I've got this. I know.
It must have been a great feeling coming out of the water, knowing that you ticked that bit off.
Yeah. And it was,
challenging bit.
It's not, I think I might have even been last in that swim, but I never ever got myself, I was like, it's not about being last. It's about just doing it. That's my goal. And and then the bike ride was, I mean, it was fine because it's just straight up and down in Dorney. And then the run, I was perfectly fine.
You're in that environment once you got onto the run. But what was it like coming down that finish? Was it like coming onto the grass at Dorney, doesn't it? It sweeps around.
Yes, it's an amazing venue. It's such a good venue. Yeah, see the Olympic rings and everything. Yeah. And
what did it feel like to you actually that moment crossing that line, actually becoming a triathlete for the first time?
It was, I would say, just under finishing the marathon.
Yeah.
Like it's all of these, like people only look at the end. They don't look at all the failures.
Yeah.
And it's, you say dream, achieve, believe, all of that. Like there's another real layer. All of that is
it's not the whole iceberg thing, isn't it?
The iceberg. Yeah.
Yeah. You see the tip of the iceberg as you complete the event, but then you've got you see all of that.
Yes.
The trauma, the knockbacks and everything.
Yeah.
And the hours and hours and hours that go into it.
Yeah. And it's just, as I was this time, I'm a little bit older. Everything that I do, from finishing at Dorney or going on the ATW triathlon camps, which it's all a privilege. It's all, hey, look, I'm lucky to be alive. I'm lucky to be having these experiences. It isn't about coming first. It's about doing your best and knowing that your best is always good enough. Because if you do that, then you are first, and that's the only thing that matters. I finished that line. I looked at Hannah and I was like, wow, like, I've got an amazing wife. We're pregnant, that moment just there, like, wow, like life can't get much better than this, because, tomorrow or another day will come, some bad things will happen. But those moments are like so few and far between. When they happen, you've really just got to grab them and just cherish them because they're so important.
Yeah. You set me off with goosebumps again. I'm picking that up a bit. There's standing up on my arm there. At the end of these podcasts, I'm supposed to come up with a very interesting way to sort of close the podcast out, but I can't top it, Sanjay, what you just said. These are the reasons we gave you that Dream Award. You do set yourself these goals, and when you have those setbacks, like your first running event and your first triathlon, you never quit and say, I'm not going to, that's the end of it for me. That's the end of the challenge. We gave you that Dream Award because you set yourself that dream, and you are going to achieve those things, whatever it is. It's been an absolute privilege to chat to you, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So
thanks, James.
Thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.